goalless at the moment. What developments, I wonder, in the second half. But in that first half, the big problem for the US defenders, Taylor, was looking after little Giovinco, who's everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was always peeling off the shoulder of either Bocanegra or Goodson, looking for those little seams behind. And the right back, Maggio, was getting forward. But the common theme here is who's playing these balls? And it's Pirlo. If the U.S. can put early pressure, like Macca said at halftime, on Pirlo, make him play short passes, that limits these dangerous runs from Giovinco over that back shoulder from Carlos Bocanegra.
Yep, thanks, Taylor. Ian Dark with Taylor Twellman in Genoa. Jurgen Klinsmann relentlessly upbeat as coach. He wants his players to move to another level, as he put it, and embrace change. There's Fabian Johnson, who can play left back or further forward down the left-hand side. He's got plenty of pace about him. Big job tonight with Maggio overlapping into his area all the time. But he's playing in the Bundesliga every week, and that helps.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable, particularly in possession. But Brekcia's got to do a better job of being in a better position and allowing Fabian Johnson to mark up.
Montolivo, Riccardo Montolivo of Fiorentina has come on, and so too for his 50th cap as Giorgio Chiellini to play in central defence. Nocerino has come off, and so too Criscito at half-time. Remember, 6 substitutions each allowed, as far as I can see. None so far for the US. On the bench, Jonathan Spector, Michael Parkhurst, Jeff Cameron of Houston Dynamo, Sasha Kljestan, Edson Buddle, and the 19-year-old Terence Boyd. Not much impact so far for Alessandro Matri, who was hitting the headlines at the weekend with his goal for Juventus and had another good one disallowed by the look of things.
Yeah, but he's just etching on that last line of defense. The U.S. has to do a better job of putting pressure on Pirlo so he can't just knock those balls over the top.
Of course, the Italians without Antonio Cassano, their top scorer in qualifying, who's had an operation for a minor heart defect. Good luck to him. He's been visiting the squad this week. And also Giuseppe Rossi, the American-born striker. Might be touch and go whether he makes it in time after his knee ligament injuries. Back in light training. Good luck to him.
Yeah, great conversation we had a week ago with him, and you just root hard for him. It's a tough injury, and it was very interesting to hear him say he didn't set any goals, just one day at a time.
The story of those 2 away games we were mentioning, away to France and Belgium, who are quite a talented side themselves, was that the US did well up to a point, and then about halfway through the second half, they conceded.
Yeah, you got to think that Coach Jurgen and his staff talked about this spot right here. Montolivo, Pirlo, finding that deep spot. They got to put pressure on that early.
Cut out by Johnson, who's sticking to his task pretty well there at left back. The US at the moment without Kuch Onyewu, central defender. He's out injured, quite a few in fact. Jose Torres, Donovan himself, Jermaine Jones, Kyle Beckerman's not here, Timmy Chandler. Beckerman's been pretty much automatic pick in the holding midfield role so far, the Real Salt Lake player. Barzali towards Matri. Barzali's trying to get the ball in against Cherundolo, watchful with the header away. The US have only scored 7 goals in 9 games under Jurgen Klinsmann, but they've only let in 7 as well.
Keep in mind, though, 3 of those were in 1 game.
Yeah. Goal scoring's been a problem, though they're working on that. Johnson. Altidor's pulled out wide. A bit of a disappointment, really, that. Now then, Thiago Motta. He's come close a couple of times for Italy. Quite a group the Italians have. It starts with a game against the European and world champions Spain in Gdansk. One of the games of the tournament early on the 10th of June. It's all live, by the way, with us on ESPN. Make sure you're around for that in the summer. Pirlo, Giovinco flags up again. Good discipline to keep catching him offside like this. Woo.
Yeah, and a good spot from Carlos Bocanegra to come forward, but Fabian Johnson's a little late on that.
That was close. That looked about level.
You know the type of runs that Sebastian Giovinco is going to make, but it's got to be quicker pressure on that ball.
Here is Pirlo. Naka was saying at half-time they just need to put him under a little bit more pressure on the ball. Oh, look at Giovinco. He's got offside again. Flags up again. It's getting frustrating, this, for the Italian crowd, because every time he springs from midfield, that flag's going up.
Yeah, but there's got to be a better understanding from the Americans. This came all the way from deep in the Italian zone. If Clint Dempsey and Josie Altidore are going to put pressure up high, the midfield and back four got to go with them. Way too easy for the Italians to get a chance.
The Parma man, frustrated again. He's yet to score for his country. Can only be a matter of time, I'd say. And what we've seen tonight, somebody is going to cop it. Here he is again. Dempsey. Breck Shea celebrated his 22nd birthday yesterday. Big cheer from all the other players at the end of training. Now the break's on here, but they've not got it right. It's given away by Montolivo. Cherundolo. Now Danny Williams, one of the growing band of German Americans in the team. Come a long way from Freiburg a few years ago in the reserve team. Motta. Oh, he's picked a very good ball. The flag's up again against Matri. That's the 8th offside of the night, Taylor, for Italy.
At some point, you got to be careful. That's a fine line. Montri's got to do a little bit better job of holding that run, but the U.S. have to be careful here, because at some point, Giovinco is going to figure out that line, and he's going to be in.
Altidore with a bandage now on that left wrist that he damaged in the first half. I think Pirlo trod on him, not deliberately, of course.
It's been a slow start to the second half for the U.S. Very little possession when they win the ball, getting forward.
Yeah, they won't want it to become just a survival job.
No, they had a couple spells in that first half where they had possession, getting it behind on the flanks. Nothing so far in the second half.
Ogbonna has been moved out to left back now that Chiellini has come on. Away by Clarence Goodson after Marchisio had played the ball in. Here's Marchisio again. He's capable of great things. I've seen tape of him scoring some wonderful goals for Juventus. But he's been pretty quiet here tonight.
Yeah, but this is a throw-in in your own end. In the U.S., it's too easy. Marchisio can come, receive the ball, and turn. He's only 18 yards from your goal. There's got to be better pressure on that initial ball.
Christian Maggio. Out to Giovinco. Pirlo says, give it to me again. I'll pull all the strings. He's been doing it for years in that Italian midfield. The fact that he was injured for all but the last few minutes of the World Cup, or Italy's World Cup anyway, was vital. Without him, they looked lost. Motta. Defending in numbers, the US, can they keep the ball and break intelligently?
Good spot from Maurice Edu to draw the foul. Allow that back four to get a breather here.
The US with friendly matches coming up against Scotland and Brazil at the end of May. Then Canada at the beginning of June. Then it's into the World Cup qualifiers. Antigua and Barbuda first up, then 4 days later away to Guatemala. And on it goes through the autumn as well. Jamaica, the other side involved in that initial group. Played in towards Altidore. Can he turn and shoot here? Dempsey scores! Clint Dempsey puts the US ahead. What a shocker. And becomes only the 4th American player ever to score against Italy.
And against a run of play, but this is all Jozy Altidore. Does a great job of just holding that ball. And what can you say about Clint Dempsey other than he is hot? And when you're feeling it, all you want is a chance. An opportunity to get a half a yard. Great strike. A good run going forward from Fabian Johnson. But this is what you do, Jozy Altidore. Hold that ball, be strong. Good layoff. And what a finish. Clint Dempsey having an understanding to come back away from Jozy on the right and buries it.
The only other Americans to score against Italy, Aldo Donelli in 1930, John Harkes in 1992, and Landon Donovan at the Confederations Cup with a penalty. Look what it means to Jurgen Klinsmann. And Italy, who didn't concede at home all through their qualifying group of the European Championship, have conceded here to the United States. Out on his own at number 4 now, all-time. Clint Dempsey with that 25th goal for his country, ahead of Joe Max Moore now. Well, we saw the training last night, and Clint Dempsey, every chance he got, he put it in the back of the net in training. And we were saying, anything falls to him, I'd back him to put it in tonight. Well, there it happened. Is Carlos Bocanegra. But can the United States hold on to this? It would be amazing. Remember, they've never, ever beaten Italy in, what is it, 82 years of trying. Long way to go. Edu. Some consternation now among the fans here in Genoa. Fabian Johnson, I think he looks a real find. You know, he was involved in the build-up to that goal. Greg Shea in. Oh, he was in space there, Johnson. That's not cleared properly by Ogbonna as well. And now it's dropped to Michael Bradley. The Italian fans know all about him. He's played just about every game for Chievo.